You're the commander of a starship fleet in the Galactic Republic. The Council has requested a strategic battle plan to define the tactics. The strategic battle plan guides the creation of the detailed battle tactics statement, the mission briefing, the fleet command protocol, the tactical maneuver blueprint, or the strategy manifesto. The answer is C, the tactical maneuver blueprint. As you see that defined tactics up here, we talk about the strategic battle plan. Explanation: the tactical maneuver blueprint outlines the approach of defined battle tactics, including in creating the detailed battle tactics statement. As the leader of the Rebel Alliance mission reconnaissance team, you are tasked with exploring uncharted planets. To begin outlining the mission parameters, which of the following is not required to define mission scope? A mission briefing, a historical reconnaissance data, a risk assessment plan, initial exploration of gold. A risk assessment plan is not needed to define mission scope. While risk assessment is important, it's not necessarily required to define the mission scope. A, B, and D are essential. You are the captain of a galactic cruiser overseeing the establishment of a new settlement on an uninhabited planet. The Council demands completion before a specified stardate. How long will this mission take? For each phase requires a certain amount of stardates you've calculated total. 32 stardates, 15 stardates, 6 stardates, 7.5 stardates. The answer is A. Calculate the total stardates required based on figures A, B, C, and D. You're the captain of a Corellian corvette leading a mission to repair a vital hyperspace lane. As you work with your crew to create a repair plan, what is the smallest component of this plan? A system component, a task component, an action directive, a repair kit. The answer is B, a task module. The smallest component of a repair plan is a task module. A, C, and D are not the smallest elements of a mission plan. You're collaborating with your crew to develop an exploration plan for a new star system. Some aspects can't be fully detailed yet. What approach are you using to craft the exploration plan? A tactical restructuring, a force adaptation surge, a hyperspace surge, a rolling wave plan. The answer is rolling wave plan. Rolling wave plans involves detailed planning and for some components, deferring detailed planning. Because it can't be fully detailed yet. Rolling wave planning. You are the fleet admiral overseeing a major operation. You're numbering each level of the components in the mission plan for easy reference. What is the hierarchical numbering of the approach called? Command insignia, ship's log, star navigation system, code of commands. Answer, code of commands. Hierarchical numbering is referred to as the code of commands. A, B, C are not appropriate terms. You are the mission parameters to define the operation scope and establish the mission baseline. Which two components from the mission baseline? The mission strategy document and feed communication logs, the mission strategy document and operation structure, the operation structure and starship specifications, the operation timeline and hyperspace coordination. The mission strategy document and operation structure. The mission baseline. So, strategy document, operation structure. Explanation. The mission baseline includes a mission strategy and document. The approved detailed scope and the operation structure. A, C, D do not accurately represent the mission baseline. Throughout your Starship expedition, you set checkpoints with associated scope validation requirements. What does successful scope validation lead to? A shield collaboration, or calibration, a formal acceptance of completed mission, a power conduit repair, a sensor array enhancement. A formal acceptance of completed mission. Scope validation ensures that the completed work aligns with the mission's intended scope. To reach the end of the mission, you need to validate the operation scope. How is this achieved during scope validation in an agile mission? Tactical briefing, intelligence briefing, tactical briefing, rebellion assessment, mission review briefing. The key is the end of the mission review briefing. In agile, scope validation often involves reviewing completed work during a mission review period. A, B, C are not primary methods of scope validation. David, a crew member, has made alterations to his assigned tasks and the impact mission of the scope. What is this action known as? Tactical improvisation, mission expansion, scope creep, protocol deviation. We know this as scope creep. Scope creep refers to unauthorized changes that expand the mission's scope. A, B, and D are not precise terms for this situation. As mission leader, you are cautious about the scope changes after approval. What process dictates how the mission scope can be altered? Council's decision on protocol, mission documentation system, intercellular communication protocol, integrated change control process. Integrated change control process is the right answer. The integrated change control processes manage scope changes. A, B, C are not processes for scope change management. A scope statement has been authorized in Marcy's mission. What doesn't need to be updated to reflect this change? A mission scope statement, tactical objectives, operational guidelines, repair assessment report. The answer is the repair assessment report. The reasoning is the assessment report does not typically require updates due to scope changes. A, B, and C need updates following approved changes. Okay, next question. A crew member has independently added extra communication relays to improve information flow to your Starship. Experts support this change. What is this an example of? Unauthorized enhancement, unsanctioned modification, maverick alteration, value added change. The answer is D, value added change. Experts support it, so that's a good indicator. The change enhances the value of the mission, aligns with expert advice. A, B, and C do not accurately describe this scenario. Alright, next question. You prioritize maintaining the mission scope. What is an output of the scope control? Tactical retreat protocol, change request for corrective action, Starship navigation chart, energy distribution protocol, change request for corrective action. Scope control may result in change requests for corrective actions. Because if you're not, it has to be a change request in order for you to get that done. A, C, and D are not primary outputs of scope control. You're leading a Starship mission and you learn that a rival faction's mission, including additional features. You submitted a change request to adjust your mission accordingly. What does this situation exemplify? a change due to tactical decision, change due to external event. You learn of a rival faction's mission to include additional features. Okay. Change due to planning oversight, change due to mission failure. Okay, C and D are out of the question. Change due to external extent event or tactical decision. We'll look at external event. The change request is triggered by external competition. A, C, and D do not accurately represent this context. Okay. You've been granted permission to enlist specialized units for parts of your Starship mission. What should you consider if a change request affects these enlisted units' involvements? Alliance a commander's preference, alliance treaty, enlisted units commanding officer, the agreement's terms. The answer is D, the agreement terms. Changes in enlisting units should consider agreement terms. A, B, C are relevant but not directly applicable. Changes affecting enlisted units could consider agreement. So, agreement terms. You've been granted permission to enlist specialized units for your Starship mission, which you consider requested. So, the agreement terms. Alright, a crew member asks you about your mission scope statement characteristics. What does the mission scope statement define? A crew member asks, tactical deployment plans, mission objective for crew members, new rules for each crew member, and mission goals and associated tasks. Mission goals and associated tasks. Explanation. Mission scope statements outlines mission's goals, tasks required to achieve them. A, B, and C are not comprehensive definitions. A stakeholder question is important with mission scope statement in your leadership approach. What do you explain? It ensures alignments of interstellar regulations. It prevents changes without proper consultation. It helps you determine if a change is within mission boundaries, so that's the scope. It changes communication with allies forces. It helps determine change within mission boundaries. Explanation. Does the mission scope statement assist in evaluating changes requests against mission boundaries? A, B, and D do not specifically address the importance. You oversee a critical mission and work closely with the mission specifications provided by Renowned Strategies. What do these specifications represent? Mission parameters. Answer is D. The mission specifications detail parameters of the mission. Work closely with mission specifications provided Renowned Strategists. What do these specifications represent? So strategist tells you what's possible. The other options are not precise enough, right? So parameters outlines the boundaries. Objectives, more general. Constraints, just that portends limitations. Tactical directives, too general. Mission parameters is the best. Complete this analogy. Battle strategy development is primarily concerned with defining and controlling strategic resources for a mission, tactical maneuvers for a battle, for combat, changes to a battle plan, changes in battle equipment. Changes to a battle plan. Battle strategy development produces on focusing and defining controlling changes to a battle plan. The other three are not precise completions.